let's talk about the Acolyte first, though, because I have a lot less to say about that than you. And obviously, this was your favorite of the week. So what was your opinion on the Acolyte episode 4?
Absolutely loved it. Okay, this is the end of that was a trip where where we finish on the episode is where I thought we might be on episode 2, because I thought we might be only getting 6 episodes. So the fact we're getting 8, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just, oh my god, it just amped you up, and then the whole mystery of who May's master is. I'm very intrigued, and everyone's talking about the criticizing of the writing of the show, but it could actually be kind of perfect because, right, Jedi and Sith are and aren't black and white.
Yes.
Right? Just because you're not a Jedi doesn't mean you're a Sith. Sorry, yeah. So my friend just found a spider.
Kill it.
Okay, everyone on the chairs. So yeah.
Over there, so
Let me just arm myself with a shoe. Anyway, so there we are watching the Acolyte, and in episode 2 we have Jedi Master Soul fighting May, and he says you have misunderstood the Jedi arts, right? The Sith aren't training and calling that the Jedi arts, right? So that's foreshadowing for this, for the revelation that we get in episode 4, Acolyte episode 4. Let me just say, is that Banastra says, "Oh, I don't need even a hologram can tell me that a Jedi has trained this person," right?
Yeah.
So this could be completely separate from the rule of 2, completely separate to the normal Sith that we know. This could just be somebody. Somebody.
You need to go kill that spider. I can.
It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. 2 people on it. They're on the job.
don't kill it unless you.
So there's. It could be that somebody was a Jedi, right? Trained on Coruscant the same way that May was, Osha was, right? And then they fell out with the Jedi, and instead of becoming a mechanic out in the Outer Rim, then they bleed their kyber crystal, like they don't like relinquish their lightsaber and quit. They bleed their kyber crystal, which is how we get a red lightsaber. Might even get a flashback to it, and then they could be like recruiting, you know. And especially even if they were like a Jedi turned bad guy, they would have the resources and the knowledge to know about Osha and May to manipulate them.
Yeah,
you know. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's open. It's crazy good.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of having a really weird thing with the Acolyte, because like we stated when we all started this 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, that like, not the biggest Star Wars guy, but I wanted to kind of give the show a start. I want to give it the a chance. I always like to give these Star Wars shows a chance. The chance of me finishing one of these shows are always very unlikely, because it's like, am I going to have enough patience to stick to the end with a show like this? It's been a really weird battle, because it's like, clearly there is an audience that is very much disliking the show for certain reasons, and I want to be like, well, screw you, man. And there's a lot of that I don't understand. There's a lot of the things that people are saying that I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you spouting out right now? They're like, oh, they're doing this and this, and this sucks because this person. I'm like, I don't know. I think that's fine, man. Like, I don't have an issue with that. But at the same time, I'm also not. It's such a strong indifference to me. Like, it's just, something where I'm just like, I don't really personally care about what's going on. I'm not hugely invested. And again, I don't know how much of that is like the show itself, how much of that is Star Wars, because like, I loved Mandalorian. Like, that's generally one of my favorite shows. Love that show. Also, I didn't finish that, so I guess that doesn't even prove the point. But like, I didn't finish Mando, and like, I also didn't like oh my gosh,
Andor.
What? Andor. I thought Andor was terrific. I thought that show was very well made. Never finished it.
Yeah.
I made it like 8 episodes. Like it's just, it might just be that Star Wars thing for me. And I do want to like continue to watch it because as we go through these next couple weeks, like I do want to give my
I will be making sure. Don't you worry about that.
pitch notes. Yeah, I want to slowly like give you my little bits and like I think it's like I do think it's generally fine. Like I did. What was your thoughts on how they ended the episode? Because like I know that was an issue with many people with just how it like
Really?
cut off. Yeah, like I feel like
Oh
people
no.
just kind of stopped.
That's like typical great TV where they're just like, right, here's the bit everybody's been waiting for, right? Because we've had introductory fighting, right?
Yeah.
We've had a tease of Jackie with the like a stick, not even a lightsaber, right? Her practicing like the flourishes, which I actually went back and watched the Obi-Wan fight versus Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, and he has like a similar little thing. So like he's using like core Jedi mechanics, which is great. And then like with Jedi Master Indara versus May, like a little bit there, mostly unarmed. Same with May versus Soul, right? So if that's how good they do unarmed combat, and they had to like most of what they were doing in preparation for this was behind the scenes. It was fighting, practicing fighting, and getting the choreography down. So honestly, I was there. I was like, dude, like Obi-Wan, right? Like, you know, like how we were saying Rogue One was used to explain the Death Star plans, right? Yeah. The Obi-Wan show was to give everybody the fight that they've been wanting this whole time. You know, when you have the original movie, right? And he's like, last time we fought, I was the learner and you were the master, you know, and all that, right? Like, yes, there was like a little bit of that in episode 3, but we knew that weren't it, you know? Yeah. So yeah, to get that, we got that. That was great. And then we get this, right?
Yeah.
Perfection. So basically, sorry, the point was at the end of Obi-Wan, right? They set that up. So they had the fight, right? That most of the fight was like a whole chunk of the episode, right? And then I was worried that because of this being a mystery, that all of the fighting that we would get would be short and interrupted. We wouldn't have like an epic battle, you know, like that we see in Star Wars Episode 3 between Obi-Wan and Anakin, you know. Yeah. But the fact that they cut it off where they did means that they can have a whole fight, right? Lose the fight, recuperate because they lost some of the red shirts. That's just how I'm seeing it. They brought red shirts because they don't want to lose the main guys. They can't lose the main guys yet. They need red shirts.
Yeah.
So they brought some red shirts along. They're going to get got. They're going to recuperate. They're going to discuss what's happening. And then, I don't know, because when do you think they're going to, like, someone, my friend mentioned yesterday that the lightsaber whip. Like, do you think they're going to bring that out now or save that till the finale?
I don't know. That's fun. I mean, and that prospect is very exciting to me. That obviously that had a lot of controversy where like they're doing different kinds of lightsabers, which is like when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's interesting because I didn't know that was a thing. Like I had no idea there was like whip lightsabers and stuff. It kind of gives like off like Flash when like they would just have like here's a speed nunchuck and like a boomerang or whatever. Like they would do these very outlandish things and. It seems like that's a thing from the book that people, or I think Legends, right? Yeah. That's the thing Legends says. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm excited to see that. I will say I was kind of disappointed that the Wookiee died. I was excited to see Wookiee action, but
devastated.
I was like, damn it. That was the one thing I was kind of excited for.
But right, so this is the thing. He was the first live action Jedi Wookiee, but he won't be the last because around this time there are supposed to be a couple. So
Gotcha.
another one could show up if they get a season 2.
Yeah,
For
fair
sure.
enough. There's more you could pull from, and stake of the story, you kind of have to kill him. Although I would have liked to have didn't know him a little bit before that happened.
Absolutely, yeah. I 2 things to say before we move on. Quote one, that I do like. Everybody's complaining that sometimes they're a bit too fast paced, but I think, as we've said before, I think they're avoiding tropes, right, and dragging things out too long. There was an instance where Osha was found with the body, right? And then she's like, I didn't do it. He's like, yeah, no, I saw you. You're fine. You know what I mean? Like in other shows, that could have gone on for another episode and a half, if not longer, and then just dragged it out. But we just keep avoiding needless hurdles, and then we keep slowing down when we need to, and it needs added context and stuff,
Yeah.
And 2 is that something to think about when it comes to a Disney project and Star Wars, right? Is that think of it as DC's Crisis. Once Disney bought the stuff, right?
Sure.
Everything has the possibility of changing, okay? Yes, like there was a set of things that they left behind and a whole bunch of stuff that they took, but they still have those options. Everything is available for change to to fit into the universe,
Yep.
So don't take everything so rigidly, right? I understand it's something that is beloved by everybody, but Star Wars is nearly 60 years old now, right?
That's crazy.
Like at least 50. It's nearly 50, right? At least nearly 50. So then it's nearly 50 years old, and it has had thousands upon thousands of contributors other than George Lucas, okay? And some of the stuff that people are holding on to wasn't even him. Some of the stuff, it is him, right? Either way, it's convoluted and a lot of the times contradictory, okay?
Yeah.
Which is why Disney said, right, we'll take this and this and this and this, but we'll leave that over there, okay? Yeah. So everybody needs to just relax.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week, but there's also the idea that just change is hard for any fandom ever. Like this happens in literally everything. Any kind of things we're going to talk about here. Hey, Spider-Man, people hate when there's a new Spider-Man because Spider-Man is different, and we love that Spider-Man. And I think that's change. I think that's just in general, it's one of the hardest things to deal with. It's like, no, I love this thing. Why are you now doing it this way? And it's like, well, you have to change. Like that's how we move on. That's how life works. You have to evolve or you die. So I know, yeah, 100%. And it seems like this is a show, and one thing I really appreciate from it so far is, again, we've talked about this, but it's in a different era of Star Wars, and there's never been a series or movie, or there's probably comics and stuff like that, and whatever, but they're approaching it in a new way, and they're introducing new kind of concepts and characters that I think if people give a chance, they might actually enjoy. So
absolutely.
I'm happy for the fans that are enjoying the show. Like it seems like the people who are enjoying the show are really loving it, and I think that's
loving it. I genuinely have a watch party of between 3 to 6 or 7 people.
That's
each
amazing.
week. Yeah,
that's great.
Because a lot of people are just loving it, and those aren't even Star Wars fans. Mm-hmm. And all of them, I should say, some of them are, some of them aren't. And one of them isn't even a TV fan, but he's engaged. So
that's amazing.
I
love that.
Yeah, great feedback.